Good day, this is Robert Saraf. I'll be presenting the code for my analytical tool. I'm going to be running code chunks as I'll be presenting and explaining the code. So the first chunk that I'm going to run is the library chunk, which basically loads in the libraries. The second chunk is the data cleaning and data cleaning and the data processing chunk. So the reason why I have turned everything here into comments is because I've created multiple tables containing similar columns, and when I remove the comment, when I remove the hashtag for the comments, it will produce an error related to data constraints. So I'm just going to do it to show that the code does work, but it will produce an error related to data constraints because I have created a number of data sets, and I've also merged data frames together. Yes. So because I ran this before, it gave me the results that I needed. So for now, I'll just show that it doesn't have an error whatsoever. The only error is the data constraints error, which I explained why. Yes. So I'm going to turn the code into I'm going to turn the code. The reason why there is an error here is because this column this data set has already been created, so it's like creating it again. I'm going to turn everything here into comments so that we can move on to another chunk. I'm only going to leave the data set below because it's the final results for all the code that I've written above it. The final result from all the code that I've written above it. So first I started converting IP addresses to country names, because I have functional requirements that deals with country names. And when I created this, I used the OData set only. And then after converting the country names, I ended up with another data set which I named IP to location mmdb.csv. And then I merged or combined the two data frames so that I could end up with only one data frame. And then I wrote the data frame and stored it in my working directory. The working directory is already set, so I didn't see the need of writing the code here. And then after that, I converted the odataset.csv file to XLSX so that I could import it into RStudio, because when importing an Excel file in RStudio, there's no option for the CSV file. As you can see, let me just demonstrate what I mean. So, and then I'll browse and choose me. Let me choose this one. It's a CSV file. It gave me an error. It says the Excel file is invalid. So, moving on, I loaded the data into R again and then imported it here in the code. And then after importing the data set, the OData2 data set, I created a new column called games by filtering the URL column in OData. In the OData set frame. Maybe I should show you how the OData set frame looks like. Data set, data frame. Yes. Here it is. Yes. It only had the IP, the time, the date, the HTTP method, the URL, average days, average views per day, and average view per month. So here I added the country column, and then now in this code here I was adding the games column. So by filtering the URL column, yes, and this time around I gave the OData2 set a new name called odataset.csv. So that's the and then I did the very same thing that I did with odataset2. I converted it into XLSX so that I could get the final dataset that I needed. Yes, maybe I should show the dataset. R is case sensitive. So here's the data set. The difference between this data set and the old data set that I started with is that I added the country names, a column that contains the country names called country, and the games column. Yes. So now I'm loading in the colors that I'm gonna use for the dashboard, and this is just the value box, and then the line graph that I'm gonna run it will show number of viewing instances per country. When you hover over it, it will show you the country name and the viewing instances. And then this here is a pie chart that shows the top countries who have viewing instances that are over 80. Which is the USA, South Africa, China, and Botswana. And then this is a bar chart that shows average views per day of games. And then this one shows average views per month games again. And then this one is a map that shows country name and average views per day. When, for example, Botswana is 5.2, so a person in Botswana on average visits the online broadcasting platform 5.2 times a day. For Costa Rica, Colombia, you got 5.3, 3.5, 4.8 in Brazil, and so on. Then here I created a pivot table. So if a person wants to see like the main interests of certain countries, I'm gonna choose the USA, and I'm going to analyze the main interests of certain the country. So here are the country names, and on the side we got the games. And then we are looking for the USA. Here is the USA. So if you want to see, like, a red box shows that there are many people who view that certain game. So let's see which game this is. 1, 2, 3, 4.